Hey guys, happy Monday. I am coming to you live from Charleston, South Carolina, which is very exciting. I'm just going to talk here for a minute until some people hop on. Um, if you got the invite for today's Facebook Live, then you probably saw that these are going to be happening every Monday at noon. Now that I am somewhat settled here in Charleston, semi-settled, not totally settled, I feel like Stella that got her groove back a little bit. So we'll be able to do these Facebook Lives actually twice a week. Mondays are going to be specifically for Ask Anything. So like any questions that y'all have, you can ask here on, hey Francie, I have somebody watching. I hope you have questions for me today. I'll be coming live on Mondays to answer any questions that you have. If for some reason you can't hop on, there's a few of you out there. Hey y'all. If for any reason you can't hop on a given Monday, you can certainly shoot me a message with your question, and I will do my best to answer it on our Monday Facebook Live. And then also I'm gonna post a link after the video is over. If you want to be added to the email list, I'm gonna be sending out links to these videos. So especially if you have a question and you're not able to hop on, then you'll be able to get a link to the video. And there's also like other fun things that I send out on a regular basis, just like, helpful tips and tricks for, photography, work-life balance, goals, all those things that I love to talk about. So for anybody that's hopped on, if you have any questions about anything business related, photography related, or if you just want to ask me about my outfit, that's totally fine. You guys can just write it in the comments. And then if nobody has any questions today, then that'll be kind of boring, but that's cool too. So I did want to come live and just let you guys know that I'm still here and I am alive. I'm still kicking. So while I'm waiting for any questions, I did want to read something to you guys today that really spoke to me, and I don't think that it was by accident that happened. Since we've been here in Charleston, we have been, as a family, doing our best to make sure that we get really connected into the community, considering I don't really know anybody here. I'm gonna get to that in just a second. Thank you, Francie, for asking a question. So since we don't know anybody here, we've been trying really hard to get connected into the community, which actually has not been difficult because most of the people that live in our neighborhood are from another place. So I don't even know anybody here that's from Charleston. So they're either from New York, Maryland, Virginia, which has actually been pretty cool. But one of the things that we thought was really important when we first moved here was to find a new church community. And y'all, this is not about to be a sermon. I know that we are all differing faiths here, but I just thought that this message was really powerful and maybe it'll help you. And maybe it won't. I hope it does. But I just wanted to read this to you for a quick second because it really spoke to me just because of the season that we are in our lives. But so the message was about having faith, like being called to do certain things and having faith around what it is that you're doing, which can be really tough when you're doing something new. And I know that a lot of you out there are maybe doing something new within your business or something new within your life, and you start to have like that circle of doubt as you're moving into something new, which I'll be honest, like I have felt that too. This was a pretty big leap of faith, moving to a completely different state and having to run a business from one state to another. But anyway, I'm talking a lot. So I'm just going to read this to you. This is from the book of James, and oh man, it just like really spoke to me. So hopefully it speaks to you too. So it's James 1 verses 5 through 7. And it says, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. Listen to this, though. Listen to this. This is what really got me. But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. So, and regardless of what your beliefs are, if you believe in God, if you believe in the universe, this stands true anytime that you're trying to find wisdom in what it is that you're doing for your business or for your family. You got to wrap your faith around whatever it is that you're led to do. So anyway, I just thought that was really interesting, really spoke to me today. So hopefully that's helpful for you too. So we're gonna go to Francie's questions about, looks like email marketing. So what do you use for email marketing? So are you talking about like the actual service that I use? So if you're asking about that, in order to send out emails to my email list, right now I use MailChimp, but I actually have to upgrade to something different because MailChimp remains free until you get to a certain number of people on your email list. And for anybody out there, I don't care what type of business you're in, you really should start growing your email list from day one. And Francie, you probably remember this from the Rise conference, but one of the points that Rachel Hollis makes, well, during any of her lessons where she talks about email marketing is that, you know, on social media, if you are, you know, building a big audience, you don't really own those audience members. So if you have a big following, you don't really own those people, because all of us know that there have been changes with algorithms and Instagram and Facebook, and especially with our business Facebook pages. If we want to reach potential clients, we have to pay for it, versus when you get an email on an email list, that belongs to you. So it doesn't matter where you are in your business, if you're just starting out and you've got 2 clients, or if you are well established and you've got 102 clients, you need to make sure that you're growing your email list. So yeah, so right now, MailChimp, but I'm getting ready to transition over to probably ActiveCampaign. It really depends on what it is that you're going to be using that email list for. So there are certain programs that will allow you to manage your email list while also offering like online courses and things like that. But for the most part, ActiveCampaign seems to be the most popular, and it's probably the one that I'm going to be going with as well. So hopefully that's helpful. And how do you set up funnel emailing, if that's the right term, i.e. send an email when they sign up and then auto send emails to introduce them to whatever it is you are sharing? So there are a couple different ways that you can do that. So if you are offering some type of like freebie, you could do that through lead pages. If you are wanting to have some type of sales page set up at some point, or you want to start offering some type of online course, I probably wouldn't go the lead pages route. I would go with something like ClickFunnels or Kajabi. I personally use Kajabi because I feel like it is an easier user interface, and it allows me to create a lead page and then also funnel my client through whatever it is that they're purchasing. So if it's an online course or any type of collateral that they are going to be getting from me, can go directly through that. Same thing with ClickFunnels. It really is personal preference. I tried ClickFunnels, and for me, while I can sit and put together, you know, a sales page, I don't really like to do that if it's a long process. And I found that Kajabi was just a little bit more user-friendly. So those are a couple of things that you could use. So either ClickFunnels or Kajabi would probably be my recommendation, because I think I know like where you're going with this, Francie. So those would be the two. And both of them have free trials. So I would just, you know, get free trials for both of them, see which one you like the best, and then go from there. Make sure you cancel the one that you choose not to go with. And I actually have a discount code for you, Francie, if you want to try out Kajabi. So get that to you. Oh, and then what platform do you use for your online course? So Kajabi is what I use for my online course. I just find that it's so much easier to put together than ClickFunnels. But again, there are a lot of people that use ClickFunnels and love it. I will say from a customer service standpoint, with ClickFunnels, if you have a problem, there is a dedicated Facebook group that you can go into, and you can get answers to your questions there. But there's not like a phone number to call or like a live chat to use. You actually have to like submit a request, and then someone like does a video of what the answer is to your question and then sends it to you. And then you kind of go back and forth like that. Whereas with Kajabi, I can pop right into a chat, talk to a person right then and there. They can walk me through my issue, and I get it resolved a little bit more quickly than if I were to do ClickFunnels. So the customer service side of it's a little bit different. If you're the kind of person that likes to sit and search for the answer, I'm sure the ClickFunnels will work just fine for you. But I am very impatient. I want to have the answer right then and there. So what's the best way to start creating a course? At what point should I start dropping tidbits of my new adventure? So I'm gonna say right now is when you need to be dropping tidbits of your new adventure. And really the best way to start creating a course is by polling your audience. So, who is it that's going to be interested in what it is that you're doing? I think that you just need to come out and say, like, this is what it is that I'm going to be teaching. I would highly recommend creating a Facebook group that you can start funneling people into. And a good way to get people into that group is to create some type of freebie for the course topic that you're going to be teaching. So it could be, something on budgeting, something like maybe it's a free spreadsheet to keep your finances organized, or, whatever it is that you want to create. You're going to create that freebie. It could be a PDF. It could be, like a Google Doc, whatever, Excel spreadsheet, whatever you want it to be. And then once you have that created, you are going to want to put together your lead page that you're going to use to get people's attention and to get their information, to add them to your email list. And at the end of that, there can be like a thank you page that says, oh my gosh, like, thank you so much for signing up for your freebie. In the meantime, why don't you pop into my Facebook group so you can get tips and tricks from me on, how to become debt free or whatever it might be. And then they'll click right there and go right into your Facebook group. So you're getting people that are totally interested in what it is that you're doing because they've just signed up for your freebie. And now you're going to have a little bit more of a captive audience inside of your Facebook group. And you can start, pumping out content to them on a regular basis. The key is consistency, which I have not been the queen of consistency over the last few months because I had a big move, but that's really going to be the key to making this successful. So I would say start now. Start your Facebook group, get it moving. And guys, like, this goes for anybody in any type of industry. It doesn't matter if it's photography or finance or whatever it is. Start the Facebook group now so you can start getting people in there and start feeding them content. Get the email list started now, again, so you can get your captive audience and start feeding them with content too. And, the course can come later. Just start getting people in, start serving them, start giving them free content that's really going to benefit them. That way, you build rapport with them, they trust you and they love you. And then once you have this awesome course available, great, then they're going to be ready to buy. Should you share these on your current business page or just personally? I don't think that it would hurt to share it on your current business page if it's related to your current business. I feel like, because you've shared with me what it is that you're doing, I think it's 100% in line with what it is that you currently offer. Like, if it was something totally off the wall and totally different, then I would say, okay, you can mention it, but don't go pushing it like crazy on your current business page and turning off people that aren't there for that type of product or whatever it is that you're offering. So I would say yes, I would. And like just as an example, so you know, I have my photography business page, which I'm going live on right now. But I also offer coaching services to photographers. So there are some people that follow my Facebook page that aren't photographers, that are, you know, maybe clients of mine, or that just like to look at pretty pictures. So, you know, coming out and offering, you know, an online course for, you know, lighting, or offering, you know, something to that effect is not going to appeal to everybody, which is fine. But as long as it's somewhat related, I think that you should definitely be mentioning it, especially if you have like a large audience. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. And what you have to offer, Francie, is huge. And people are going to want to know that you do it. And, you know, you're going to find out whether or not you should be mentioning on that page by the amount of engagement that you get. And I'd be willing to bet that there are going to be tons of people that are going to be really excited about what you're doing. So 100%. All right. Oh, thanks. Good. So you've got website purchase, Facebook group has been created. I'm not in that group. Just saying, I want to make sure I'm in there because I want to know all about what it is that you're doing. First meet and greets tonight. Girl, this is amazing. Your first meet and greet. Tiny Step is doing a 5-day free challenge in the course. Like, you're like on your way. Like, this is incredible. So anybody that's watching either live or watching this later, I'm going to give Francie a plug here. So Francie is she's an awesome photographer. She does tons of wedding photography. She's actually shot with me before, and she's actually one of my, mentoring clients. And so we met, I don't know, Francie, what's it been like? It's been over a year. I don't know, it's been a little while. Actually, do you mind if I mention what it is that you do before I just like go? And if you don't want me to say this, then I'll just keep it to myself. I feel like now I have to say it because people are watching and they're going to know what the heck I'm talking about. Okay, I think there's a lag, so I don't know if she's okay with this. But real quick, y'all, Francie teaches people how to become debt-free. So I'm not going to go any further than that, but maybe we'll talk about that on a future live because her story is pretty incredible. And I think a lot of us want to know how to become debt-free. Yes, I know, it's been over a year. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Time flies when you're having fun. So anyway. All right, guys. Well, this was great. Like, I can't believe I've been on here for almost, oh, okay. Well, I kind of went for it. I went for it, Francie. There's a delay. I went for it. So she teaches people how to get debt free. She like tells you how to do it. And y'all, like, it's huge when we live in a space like we do now, where everybody's in debt because we all want to keep up with the Joneses. So, hey, Francie, you should post a link in here to your Facebook group. So people can join if they want to. Y'all, you need to join. I'm joining because I want to know how to do this. So anyway, guys, like, this was great. So any questions that you had, like I said, you can shoot me a private message for the next Q&A that's going to be next Monday at noon. It's going to be lunchtime every Monday. I think it's a great way to start the week. But also on Thursdays at 4. Oh, hey. Oh, I'm not going to get off yet. Kathy has a question. So you've been practicing with indoor photos. What lighting, box, soft lights, etc. would you recommend? Okay, so Kathy, my question to you would be, are you just using a constant light source or are you using off-camera flash? So while I'm waiting for your answer to that, when I first started using external lighting, off-camera lighting, sorry. When I started using off-camera lighting, I was really uncomfortable with flash. So I used constant light sources. So I went to my local camera shop and said, hey, I think I was photographing a newborn session. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And I said, hey, I need some lighting. I don't really know how to use flash. What would you recommend? And they gave me this setup, which was pretty cool. It was like a softbox And then inside of it were what they call cool lights, and you could either turn them all on at one time or just a couple. And they were really great for a constant light source. But it's not really like the desired look that I go for now. So I use off-camera flash. And the setup that I use is I have Canon speed light that I have on camera, and it doesn't have to be Canon, like whatever camera you use. There are speed lights available for whatever brand. I use a speed light on camera, and then I use one off-camera flash depending on what the situation is. If it's a reception, wedding reception inside of like a large ballroom, I'm gonna use probably 2 off-camera flashes. But at the bare minimum, I'm gonna have one on camera and one off camera. Depending on what it is that I'm photographing, sometimes I turn that on camera off and I just use it as a trigger to trigger that off camera flash. So, yeah, I mean, it really just kind of depends on what it is that you're photographing. So what specifically is it that you are photographing that you need to use some type of external lighting for? Because, you know, the type of softbox that I would use like really kind of depends on the situation. So like for weddings, I use, and actually I'm going to talk about, I'm talking about this on Thursday, but still, you guys, if it's redundant on Thursday, then sorry. So when I'm photographing a wedding, I'm using my speed light or my Pro Photo, and on my speed light, I actually use a dome that I purchased from, I don't have my stuff in front of me because I wasn't planning on talking about this. I'm so sorry. Magmod. I use the Magmod dome instead of using an umbrella. But if I'm photographing like in studio, like doing like headshots or something of that nature, I'm going to use a large softbox for that. Because at a wedding, you really can't, you probably shouldn't use a big softbox. Be a little bit of a distraction. Oh, good. So you've been practicing with off-camera flash, wondering if umbrella, etc. would be good for like studio shots. Yes, definitely get an umbrella. I think that those are fantastic. It's an inexpensive way to start diffusing light. I personally like the Magmod, the dome for the Magmod, but I think you're talking about, I think the magnetic piece itself for the flash is probably around 25 bucks, and I think the dome is like 50. But you can get an umbrella. Just make sure that you get the correct attachment for your flash stand. It has the hole in it to hold the umbrella. Because you can get an umbrella for like, I don't know, you can get them pretty cheap, probably 20 bucks off of Amazon. I would try to get the pets in the best lighting. Yeah, I mean, you really just need the off-camera flash and then some type of modifier. So like an umbrella would be totally fine. But you could definitely use the Magmod too. I mean, the dome is small, like it's pretty small. So if you don't have a lot of space, that's why I like those. And I started using them at weddings too, because the big umbrellas can be pretty obtrusive, and I just don't like setting those up in wedding receptions. I mean, I feel like the flash stand is enough to be a pain. So anyway, yeah. Yeah, headshots. You're definitely gonna want some type of large modifier. I don't typically use the dome for like headshot type of work. I try to make that light as soft as possible. So you could get, you know, a large softbox, or even your umbrella would be fine too. So, I mean, the large softboxes are really nice to have, and they're fun because you can modify light from like head to toe, which is really nice. But an umbrella would really, you know, do the trick as well. I am going to tell you, this is one thing I think that a lot of photographers forget about when they're photographing indoors and they're using off-camera flash, because obviously you need the flash if it's a darker situation that you're in. That's why we use it. Make sure that you are turning off any ambient light that you have in the room. Like, this is like my #1 tip for anything indoor related when you're photographing. Even if it's without a flash. If you're photographing by a window, it doesn't matter. Like, when you start having multiple light sources coming in when you're photographing, your pictures are gonna look muddy and not good. So have you ever looked at a photo or been even editing a picture and you're like, gosh, why is this part of the photo like a bluish color and this part of the photo is like a yellowy orange color? Well, it's because you have multiple light sources. So just a little tip, when you're photographing, make sure that you are turning your lights off inside of your room. And that is any situation. I go into weddings all the time. I'm like, hey, I know everybody's getting ready, but I'm turning the lights off. So just so you can get the right ambient. Or not ambient, but the right lighting. There's other ways that you can combat that. If you can't turn the lights off, I'll talk about that another day. But for the most part, turn those lights off. Turn them off. You recently purchased the Vision 5 light and 48-inch box. I get a lot of spill light. I wonder if I should go with a smaller umbrella. Can you do me a favor? Can you might not be able to do it right now, but can you post a photo in the group? Do you mean that you are getting spill light, like flare on your camera? I'd really like to see a sample photo so I can see the right setup that I would recommend for you. There are different things that you can even put on your umbrella to get rid of spill light. And yeah, 48-inch, yeah, I mean, that's big. That's really big. I mean, that's 4 feet. So I would imagine that would probably solve your issue, but I'd really like to take a peek at one of your images. If you don't want to post it in the group, you can shoot me a private message and I'll take a peek at it because I'd like to see exactly what it is that you're talking about. I would venture to say either having one of those like attachments for your umbrella. Of course, guys, like I don't even know what it's called, but a lot of umbrellas come with it, the black thing that goes on the umbrella that helps with spill light, but also this may be an issue of your umbrella being too big. But yeah, definitely send me a photo and I'll take a peek. All right. Okay. I'm going to give it another minute to see if you guys have any other questions. This was awesome. I love all the questions. I will answer all of them to the best of my ability. And then if I can't answer it, I'll find the answer for you. I'm happy to do it. And then, yes, so Francie posted a link to her Facebook group. So anybody that's looking to get out of debt, I highly recommend that you click on that link. So get out of debt Facebook group. Awesome. You guys, like, she lived it and did it. And I hope, Francie, that you have, you've put in there a little bit about your story. If you haven't, like, hop on Facebook Live and tell everybody about why you decided to start the group, because it's an awesome story, y'all. Awesome story. Okay, so it was a smaller room, your light, and you were trying to only light up your model and not the whole wall. Ah, yes. Yes. Your umbrella was definitely too large for that in particular. There are some other ways that you can like really drill down into where it is that you want that light to go. I will post some examples of some of the modifiers that you can put onto your light source in order to do that. So yes, definitely you needed something smaller, 100%. Hey, Ashley, so excited to see you on here. All right, guys, so like I mentioned, if you're not on my email list, then I'm going to pop a link here in just a minute so you can hop in. If you are at all interested in getting links to these videos emailed to you, so that way if you happen to miss one, then you really don't miss it because you can click the link and you can see it. And then also this week, every Thursday, 4 o'clock is going to be something different that we're going to be talking about. So this week we're going to be talking about off-camera flash, what I use, why I use it, and then answering any questions that you might have about off-camera flash. I will say that I think that it's one of those things that a lot of people feel like is super intimidating and they're scared to use it, but man, like it will change your life. It has changed my life as a photographer. And honestly, I don't know how I ever photographed weddings or anything, honestly, without it. And it's way easier than you think. So hopefully you guys will pop on Thursday. Oh, of course. Like, you are so welcome. Yeah, I will make sure that I will get that information out to you, and please feel free to send me that image if you feel so inclined. All right, y'all. So make sure you join the email list, and then also make sure that you pop into Franzie's Get Out of Debt Facebook group. And I will hopefully see all of your faces back here on Thursday at 4, or I will see you next Monday at noon. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.